What would you do if something followed you home? Move houses. In this economy? Welcome to the Witching Hour Café, dear patron. Another night, another fright. This time, a visitor left a rushed note on what happened to them over the weekend. Is it something scary? Well, she looked like she hadn't been sleeping, so I suppose it is. Maybe we can ask them for their thoughts. I guess we could. Let me serve you a cup of coffee, dear patron, and we can get right into the story. My town is small, but when it's carnival week, it feels like I live in a metropole. Everyone and their grandma is here, elbowing me as they walk past, sweating to win a bunny plushie for their significant other, or eating another bag of caramel popcorn that sticks to their teeth. Yet they smile their crooked smile and go for yet another overpriced ride, gate-kept only by a long line of kids whose pockets are lined with their parents' money. The smell of sweat, sugar, and freshly cut grass all blend together to give me the strongest headache I've had since yesterday. The cherry on this messed up cake are the clowns. These twisted mascots of the whole charade are everywhere. Their painted-on smiles are full of joy and derision in equal measure, like they know something I don't. I never would have gone to the carnival on my own, but my little cousin was visiting over the weekend and, as adorable as she is, I was begrudged to be her babysitter because she insisted on going to the carnival. It was her first one after all, and I was secretly hoping it would be her last. I've been to this carnival many times when I was a kid, before my distaste for this charade even formed, so I know every ride, every event and game booth by heart. You can imagine my surprise when we reached a brand new booth. My little cousin tugged at my hand and jumped in place, convincing me that we should both give it a try. The star of the new booth was a 3-meter tall statue of a clown. The clown wore the classic curly bright red wig, had a round red nose and white makeup drawn messily around its facial features. What stood out were its eyes, those bulging yellow eyes with but a single speck of black in them, the lifeless pupil. In front of it was a small set of stairs that ceremoniously led to a humble throne which put you to the same level as the clown statue. The whole setup gave me the creeps that my cousin clearly didn't feel. Maybe because the reward was a huge, fluffy kitten plushie and a gift bag of all kinds of yummy carnival goodies. And all you had to do to obtain them was win the 45-second staring contest against the clown. My cousin insisted on trying the game first, basing her confidence on the fact she had large, brave eyes and unwavering resolve. I helped her up the stairs as the event guide explained the rules. Once the timer rings, the staring contest begins, and she must look into the clown's eyes for 45 seconds. If she blinks, she loses on the spot. My cousin lasted 8 seconds before she blinked, giggling all the way through. When it was my turn to face the clown, I found nothing about it to be even remotely giggle-worthy. It didn't help that the clown held a goofy smile full of silly round teeth. When I heard the timer ring, I focused on the clown's pupil in an attempt to zone out the rest of its unsettling appearance. I hoped my dry eyes wouldn't fail me. I heard my cousin cheer me on from the side, sweat pooling on my forehead. That's when the clown's iris dilated. Just the tiniest bit, and you might argue I was reaching my limits. My eyes were dry, I was under pressure. But no, I am sure that clown's eyes honed in on me for just a moment and then went back to their lifeless state. It almost startled me out of my focus. Perhaps that was a trick behind this game, startle the contestants so they pay you and win nothing. To my credit, I didn't get swayed and held my gaze without blinking all the way to the end. The sting in my eyes was unbearable, but the joy in my cousin's smile was worth it. I walked away from the clown statue without looking back. By the time we endured a few more grueling queues for the rides my cousin wanted to try, the day dissolved into a mild summer night. To my relief, the carnival crowd dispersed little by little, and walking around felt much more pleasant as a result. My cousin carried the prizes from the clown staring contest with the pride of somebody who has won them herself, but her happiness was so contagious that I couldn't hold it against her, even if I tried. My family home was about a 15-minute walk from the carnival, so we took our time strolling at a comfortable pace, while sharing the candy from the prize and talking about our favorite rides. At some point, I felt a prickle at the back of my neck, the kind that told you something wasn't right. I glanced behind us, but nobody was there. It's not unusual to feel slight discomfort walking home alone at night. We were 2 girls, after all. I made certain nobody was there, and we reached the house in a kind of whimsical mood that only a Friday like this one could give you. My cousin was sharing the room with me, and she chose to sleep on the side facing the doors and my bookshelf full of various comics. She said she was going to count them to fall asleep. That worked for me, since I preferred to sleep facing the window. My second floor room faced opposite of the street, so I saw just the right amount of tree branches swaying over the night sky. After dinner and a bath, we went to sleep. It must have been all the sweets and adrenaline, but I woke up in the middle of the night. My clock was showing 2:46 a.m. I sighed, but didn't change sleeping position since I didn't want to wake my cousin up. I figured the hypnotic movement of the branches outside would knock me out shortly, so I directed my gaze to the window. And there it was, the clown from the carnival, staring at me through the window. Whether it was floating or standing on something, I couldn't tell. My whole attention was on the fact that the clown was there, smiling at me with a mouth full of now sharp, comically pointed teeth. The glow in those lifeless yellow eyes seemed a much bigger threat when surrounded by the sharp shadows of the night. My body froze. I couldn't muster the strength to do anything but hold the clown's gaze. I convinced myself this was only a dream and I would wake up at any moment. But as the time went on, all my hopes shattered as I watched the shade of the sky change from deep black to the rosy, dewy orange of the dawn. Once the clown was fully bathed in the morning light, it slid away from my sight. I rushed out of bed, but when I reached the window, I saw nothing. My cousin woke up, but I'd gone back to bed and passed out from exhaustion on the spot. I woke up again sometime late in the afternoon and ran to the carnival site without having eaten. I found the event stand and the damn clown was still there. Creepy, but not in a bone-chilling way I've experienced last night. I asked the event guide if the clown was just a statue or perhaps an animatronic. He said it was just a statue that one of the carnival owners commissioned to be made after they watched some horror movies with clowns and wanted to introduce a new type of game centered around it. I chalked up the whole night to my vivid imagination. Imagine my surprise when the same night I woke up at around the same time and found the clown stalking me through the window again. If it happens once, it's a dream. If it happens twice, it's a nightmare. I held its gaze with the courage I didn't feel in my shaky bones. Whatever this thing wanted from me, it wasn't making a move to get it. So I just lied there, waiting for the morning to come again. The morning did inevitably come, and the clown retreated in the same manner as before. I spent the whole Sunday sleeping and was woken up by my little cousin who came to say goodbye before she went back home. If there was some silver lining in this situation, it was that she could leave untouched by the horrors of the clown's late-night visits. After dinner, I took a short nap to prepare myself for another sleepless night. I set the alarm at around 2 a.m., which was probably unnecessary since I could barely fall asleep knowing that a clown will look at me through the window the whole night. 2 a.m. rolled around. Nothing. No clown, just a clear night sky and tree branches dancing in unison to the gentle summer breeze. I realized in horror that the clown wasn't looking at me. It was looking at my cousin. So do you think it's a demon?
As the representative of the Demon Support Club, we do not claim this one.
I am worried about the cousin. Maybe I can go check out the situation, if you take me. But you would owe me. How can something so small be so evil? I'm at eye level with hell. Have you ever heard something like this before, dear patron? Leave it in the comments. We read everything here. She means everything. If you enjoyed the story, like and subscribe. We have a new story from the cafe every single week. See you there.